All right, everybody, we got a special episode for you today. Welcome to another episode of Papa Jesus. It is not often we get to see this band perform for reasons that the lead vocalist and guitarist of this band is now residing in the United Kingdom, and they're here for one show only. I bring pleasure in welcoming Chris Hall, the guitarist and vocalist of Infanteria, to the house. What's happening, my man?
Thank you for having me, bro. It's very, very good to be back.
You're looking very well these days, huh?
Thank you, man. Feeling summery. I've even been, now being on holiday and stuff, I've even like got a gym membership going as well. I'm even done that. Yeah.
Okay, like a little short-term thing.
Yeah, I just thought for a month while I'm here. Just
Amazing.
To keep it going. It's been keeping me going over in the UK, not to go crazy, you know. You can go a bit nuts over there with just the weather is so horrible over there. So you just want to kind of keep yourself going.
Super depressing at times, especially in winter. Eh?
Absolutely. So yeah, I've just been, thank you, man. Yeah, so feeling good.
Nice.
Feeling amped for the show. We actually had our first practice, when was it? On Thursday.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I saw actually on all your Instagram stories and stuff like that.
We had our first one back, so it was really, really good. And we were like so surprised how well it went, because we were like shitting ourselves, basically, just wondering how it was all going to go.
Yeah, because the last show you played was Woodstock Brewery with Peasant and them last year.
Last year, same time, basically, same year, end of October.
Is this now going to become like an annual thing for you guys?
Might be, yeah. Definitely for the near future, I think. Yeah, we'll just keep like an annual thing. Quite cool, actually. We just have like a 1 year kind of thing, because I definitely want to keep on coming back to South Africa every year.
For sure.
Just all depends how life goes, and
of course,
what happens. We wanted to try and get the guys over to the UK as well, try and get a tour, but it's just so expensive, man.
The tickets are nuts. I mean, how much are we paying for a ticket over to? I mean, I think it's cheaper, obviously, because it's all relative.
Yeah.
But if you are traveling here, it's probably a bit cheaper for you coming from there to here.
I think so.
Or,
I definitely think so.
I could be mistaken. I'm sweating the quarterfinal out.
Are you feeling it?
Yeah, I'm feeling it big time.
Have you got Hair of the Dog going?
I do.
Good.
I've got a little cider going here.
Excellent.
But what a freaking game, man. I've just got to say, half of South Africa, or the majority of South Africa, must be feeling pretty rough today.
I think so. I don't know how I managed to kind of circumnavigate it, because I was definitely, the brandies were flowing.
Yeah, geez, I stay away from the hardtack, otherwise I'd have been man down today for sure.
No, what a game.
Yeah, it was incredible. But welcome back to South Africa.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you,
so you're down for about a month now, hey?
Yeah, till the end of October.
Okay, just visiting family and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just having a break, man. I've just been working a lot over in the UK, working really, really hard. So I just need that break. So I just thought, I'm just going to take 3.5 weeks, come on down. And then it's always like, okay, let's book a show. Let's do something cool.
That's awesome, man. And this weekend, Friday, with Halvar, you've got Ollie on guitar. Dude, you know, the one thing, dude, when I was listening to Patriarch earlier today. It's crazy how you can sing and play that at the same time.
Thanks,
it's
bro.
pretty nuts.
It takes a lot of practice.
I'm sure.
I've always said you got to kind of like break your brain up into like two separate entities. It's like really different. Like one's thinking about the singing, one thinks. So you just get really good at the one, so that you're not really thinking too much about the one. Usually that's the guitar part. I just do them over and over and over again. And so I'm just always usually thinking about the vocals when I'm doing it live.
And speaking of that, how did it all go on Thursday?
It went, like I was going to say, it went really, really well. And we were like really, really surprised. And I think because all of us have just been trying to keep fit a lot recently. Like Adrian's been on a big fitness thing. Tim's been as well. Me. Ollie's just always good.
Yeah.
He's just always good.
Yeah, Adrian is actually looking specifically like really good these days.
Yeah, he's been going on a bit of a regime.
No, that's awesome, man. And good to see the guys in the room again.
Yeah.
Nice to feel that hot, sweaty room.
Oh, man, it was just like absolute highlight of the year almost. It was just so good to be back in with the guys, playing the same music again, sounding just as good.
Yeah.
I'm always scared that you're going to be one of those bands that just kind of sounds a bit aged or a little bit old or not as tight. You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, like listening to your album today, I mean, you released Patriarch last year, early in March or so. When was it?
No, it was more like June, July.
Okay.
Yeah. Middle of the year.
And then, like you're saying, a band that's been around for a long time, it really sounds, and this is obviously in the positive sense, that it's you can hear that it's your third full length album, you know, because there is a level of maturity to it. It's a super enjoyable listen.
Thank you, Bob.
I must say. I mean, the one thing, I think it was Swansong, but like a 8-minute song.
Yeah, it's a long one.
And it keeps you captivated right the way through. It's almost like you're like, the song is super long, but you always want to know what comes next.
Yeah, it's all about a journey with that album. I mean, we wrote it differently from the other ones. All the other ones were myself in a room writing a bunch of riffs, putting things together, either sending it to Rob, my brother, who was the original drummer, or Adrian for Where Serpents Conquer, just sending them the stuff. Right, this is what I want.
Yeah,
do it. And then when we were in the studio, then they would start adding little bits or pieces, or if we had played it live quite a bit before, then they had time to do it in the practice space. But for this one, it was just me and Adrian in a room playing and just seeing what comes out.
Sweet.
Yeah, and it's mad how it just that little change. I was always so anti that because I always thought, well, the kind of riffs you're going to get are probably going to be quite watered down, and you won't have that fine tuning and that little bit of this.
Yeah, because it's coming off the dome instead of you sitting working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
but
know, it could be. It's sometimes.
Yeah, but I think also there's the other side of it is that the jam makes it feel that much better. And that makes you appreciate the riff a lot more instead of you going, well, I've worked 20 hours on this and you know, I still haven't got it right. The nuances aren't quite there. Except when you sit down in a jam room, you and a drummer can figure that kind of thing out.
You can work on those nuances over time as well, as long as you get that main structure. And it's just the energy. I just think like Patriarch's got just a real like flow and like energy about it. And I think it's just because we wrote it that way, like both of us kind of playing off each other. I mean, you always hear that from big bands going like, oh, we just got in a room and started playing with each other. And you always think like, really?
So the first two albums you did in a different way.
Yeah, it was just me next to my computer or in my room, and then that sounds good. Record that, and I just think it got a little bit too involved. You know, you can just have a riff that just sounds great as a riff, but maybe it doesn't quite flow or, you know, touch people in like a more of like a rhythmic kind of way. Like I think this album is also a little bit more rhythmic as well. It's not as, you know, about the guitar, more about the actual song. Like you hear that in Swansong. It's not really. Yeah. There isn't really a guitar solo even on that song.
But let's not be mistaken. There's some seriously groovy licks in there. Hey? Some nice riffs. You can pick and choose right throughout each song. I mean, you've got some seriously groovy riffs, and you know, it's also another thing that when I was obviously doing a little bit of reading and stuff, you call yourself a progressive thrash. Yeah. You do introduce other elements that aren't with your you know, quintessential thrash bands and stuff. It adds a really nice wrinkle to the sound. Which I'm so looking forward to seeing on Friday. I must admit, I missed the last show that you guys played.
Okay, cool. So you haven't seen the new stuff
live? I haven't seen you guys play the new stuff. Epic. When did you move to the UK?
Beginning of 2020, so it was March. Okay. March 2020. It was 10 days before lockdown, basically, in the UK.
That's crazy.
So I had no idea when I got there that lockdown was going to happen. It was just, okay, I'm coming over, I'm doing my thing. So yeah, that kind of, I had already recorded everything of mine except guitar solos before coming over. So then we just had to wait for Tim to do all his bass playing, and that's kind of what took a while because he had to get in the studio with Heinrich, and just because you could, you know, social distancing and stuff, you couldn't go and see anyone, so that took a while.
What a freaking weird time, eh?
Oh man, it was so weird. It was so weird being.
Let's not do that again.
Please not.
Yeah.
Please not. No, it was really weird.
And also, it just creates delay on everything, you know. So, and was that any sort of was that a frustration while you were doing it?
I think so, yeah. I mean, most of it had been done by that point, so it was kind of weird. It was like it'd all been done, and we're just waiting for these little bits to be done so that we can just get it finished. And that was more the frustration, but it was just knew that everyone else was kind of in the same boat.
Yeah. Because now, was that before Heinrich moved overseas as well?
Yeah, it was literally just before. Sure. So he finished, I think he finished the master in Canada. He like got it all set up. Yeah, he did. He got it all set up in Canada. So it was like all done, like half in... like most of it in South Africa, all the recording, but a lot of the solos I did in the UK, a lot of the mixing was done in Canada, so it's like all around the world, bro.
Sure, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But so are you doing a full or you don't want to give what you're going to be playing away.
No, I don't
But
mind so much.
are you doing like a full the entire album?
No, we did that. I don't think we did the whole thing last year, and we're kind of doing a bit of a best of kind of thing. So we're going to play a bit of everything from each album, mainly Patriarch songs though, I would say. So yeah, all the like Swansong, we're playing that one, as well as the acoustic intro, All of the Lost, that's going to be playing as well. So yeah, a bit of a mixture of everything, because Patriarch can be, especially it's quite a thrashy show, especially with Halvar there. So we just thought, no, that we got to put some Where Serpents songs in there as well, and the big fast ones.
Yeah.
Some big riffs on those albums as well, bro. So we got to keep that up.
No, for sure. I'm very, very, very looking forward to Halvar. Is actually a great band.
I've never seen them live before.
Yeah, no, I've seen them a couple of times now. Always a good, fun band. Great complimentary band for you guys this weekend as well, which is super cool. I must tell you, 2013, you guys, I think just before that, you won the Wacken Metal Battle.
It was in 2013.
In 2013,
so long ago now. Yeah.
You released your first full-length album.
Yeah.
And I had obviously just started getting into like the scene, the middle.
Was it around then, 2013?
Well, I started in around 2011. Started getting a band together around like 2012. Still mucking around in the garage. And doing all that kind of stuff.
How old are you now?
I'm 39.
You're 39 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, but I was doing all the stuff I should have been doing in school.
So you were like a late bloomer.
I was big time late bloomer.
Okay.
So I mean,
I
only started playing guitar again at 28.
Wow.
I stopped because I started playing guitar when I was 12. Yeah. Then at 14, I said, bugger this.
It's not for me.
Yeah. And then I tried the drums, and I played the drums for 3 or 4 years. And just drove my parents and neighbors and everybody absolutely insane. Yeah. I mean, I feel for all drummers out there, because, I mean, to become a really good drummer, you have to put in the work.
You got to play every day.
And that's, sometimes, I feel like sometimes I'm an imposter,
you got to be like, have just like a house that's in the middle of nowhere, or just super understanding parents and neighbors.
100%, yeah.
It's like a certain amount of people you can actually
back
nail
then
that.
You didn't have like the super high tech, like cheaper entry level,
the electric kits,
and stuff. Anyway, so I did my whole drum stint, still got the drums, so I actually gifted them to my nephew recently. Nice. And he's actually playing in the school band.
Oh, nice.
Which is super cool.
That's good to hear.
Legacy.
Yeah, exactly, man. Got to get kids playing, man. I don't think too many are. I mean, I do. I'm in education in the UK, and just the amount of kids that just aren't brought up with good music, is actually quite scary.
It is scary.
Yeah.
But also there are the kids that are listening to bands like Fleetwood Mac and stuff way before their time.
That is also coming up.
I've noticed that quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think TikTok's kind of like opened up so many new things. Like even just with, I mean, the obvious one was with Metallica with Master of Puppets with Stranger Things. So it just kind of took off, and all these kids were busy listening to it. I thought that was really weird.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird.
It is. It's like 1986. And it's like, what? What's going on?
So just on the story regarding when I was just getting involved.
Yes,
and then, I booked my tickets to go watch Killswitch Trivium, all that.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, cool. There's going to be some local bands there, and I've heard of an Infanteria. Infanteria was the band I heard about.
Right. Okay.
And this is no joke. No, I'm not lying by any stretch of the imagination. I need to see this Infanteria go. All the guys in the local scene say Infanteria is the band. And then you guys played bloody main stage. And it was a hell of an experience. I was like,
wow.
And it's, as a guy who wants to be in a band and wants to do all that kind of thing, think like, it's going to take me forever to get there and all that kind of stuff. Lo and behold, 2023 Ramfest, I got my opportunity.
Exactly, I was literally just going to say.
Yeah, so it's kind of like full circle. And to think that 2013, I was like, there's no ways, I'm going to find the guys and to do all that kind of stuff. And I remember seeing you guys main stage, I think it was on the Friday, huh?
Yeah, it was the first night.
Yeah.
That would have been the Friday.
Yeah. Excellent performance. It was a good...
Yeah, we were on fire that night.
Yeah.
It was
Great
so
crowd.
cool.
The whole,
Great crowd.
And it was a day set as well.
Yeah, it was kind of like
Late
I think
afternoon.
like late afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, with dusk. It was kind of just going down just before Trivium came on.
Yeah. Getting us well oiled for the headlining
The
acts.
headlining, who were also awesome. But I remember once we finished playing, Adrian saying, because Adrian wasn't drumming at that point. Rob was, and Adrian was the drum tech. He used to always come and drum tech for us. But he was like, "No, Trivium, we're watching you guys on the side of the stage watching." It was just like,
yeah, that's
amazing.
crazy.
Yeah,
10 years ago, eh?
I know. I
Wild.
looked different. I think everyone did.
Well, you had long.
I had long hair. I was a lot bigger.
Yeah.
No beard. Yeah, we only had the first album out at that stage. We didn't even have the second album out.
But I mean, that first album really, it was super well received. You guys got a lot of good shows.
Yeah.
And did you form in 2013?
No. We formed, well, the proper band, if you got to think about it. Well, my brother and I got together. We formed the band, just the two of us, back in like 2006, because like as a high school kind of band. And then like around 2006, 2007, started playing our first shows. And then the Mind Assault guys saw us at a show at, I don't know if you remember Klein Libertas show.
Yeah, of course, the Stellenbosch. The one that burnt down.
Sorry, not Klein Libertas. I'm thinking of another one. The one in Tableview.
The
Leibbrandt
for Nikak.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Leibbrandt for
Hammer the
Nikak.
Masses and all that stuff.
Exactly, with Carl Puller
Yes.
organizing all those shows. And we used to play loads of those because we went to school with Carl.
Dual records,
dude. And we used to go and record with Carl loads of times. Yeah, we owe him a lot, actually.
Yeah.
He was really good for us in the beginning, and he actually introduced us to the Burning Tone guys, Louis, and Gav and everybody there. So yeah, it was those shows we started around, and then the Mind Assault guys got hold of us, and they saw us at a show, and they were like, "You guys need to come and play our first ever Metal for Africa."
Oh, was it the first one?
First one, 2007, I think it was.
Gee.
And we opened up the first ever one at Klein Libertas in Stellenbosch.
Wow.
So yeah, and then we kind of grew popularity through that stage, but we just couldn't in those days, man. You know how it was in those days. Recording wasn't as easy to.
Yeah, you only had like a handful of guys that really knew. It was like the Carl Pullers of the world, the Louis Hens, the Heinrichs. Because Heinrich was with Warrensen, wasn't he? No, Wargrave, sorry.
He was, but that was even a little bit later. I mean, like around 2008, around that time when we wanted to record, it was only really Louis, Kyle, the guys from, what was the name of that band? Keenan Oaks and Holocaust. Dean Bailey, obviously, he was recording. Yeah. But you need a lot of money for that. And a lot of it at that time wasn't sounding as good as you wanted, and just didn't have any money. So when we met up with Louis, he was like, we just became really good mates with everyone there. And then he was like, cool, well, let's just do a single. We'll make it just sound amazing. Yeah. And then we'll get you on the Hammer the Masses albums. So we were on the demos then, and then I've
got them lying around.
Yeah. I've still got them around as well. That is like complete like metal history for me, like SA. Like, there was so many bands coming out at that time. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean that was like a boom at that stage.
Massive boom. Like we were lucky with our timing. I think we were just around that right generation of, just getting into tech. So social media was just coming on, so you could like really promote it, and you could like access music really easily. So all these bands you were hearing about, like Trivium and Killswitch, and it was just like metal was just like the thing. And everyone was like really loving it.
And you guys at one point as well, after that, became like this group of bands under the Burning Tone thing, where you guys would put on your Blitzkrieg shows.
Yeah. Well, that I wanted to talk about Burning Tone today, actually, because I don't think like those bands get not the recognition, but like the story of how that all went down.
Yeah.
Like I don't think many people actually know about it.
It was you guys, Megalodon.
Yeah.
Betray the Emissary.
The Zombies guys. Well, obviously, that was kind of like a mixture of them. And Reverse the Sands. They were like
Infanteria.
And
Reverse the Sands.
Reverse the Sands at one point. Wings of Aggression. I don't know if you remember them.
Yeah.
They were like back in the day. And it was all this one house, 75 Borgore Street in Monte Vista, and that's where everybody lived. And it was like, I lived there, Gav lived there at the time, Louis lived there before I did. It was just all these guys from bands that all lived there, and there was like this culture of basically writing the best music, because we all had jobs, but we were also like students at the time.
Yeah.
So it was, we get money, but we're here to write, and we're here to make amazing bands, and we were so competitive with one another.
Almost like a creative house.
It was like a creative house. Like Gav would be writing the Betray album while I'm doing the Terror album, while Arno was doing something in his like loads of bands that he was doing, like Crimson
On a
House.
fun sale.
Yeah, on a fun sale, and he was practicing for this, that, and the other. And then Louis was there before me, and he did the whole Broken Result album and the first Megalodon album.
Another one, yeah.
Broken Result were there. So it was just like really good competition and brotherhood that we had there. And it just created all these great bands, because we were so, like, you couldn't be slightly cuck.
Yeah.
Or else you'd feel like you weren't part of the team anymore. It was like everyone had to be really good at their instrument, really good at writing. And then we would all track with Louis, and he was like super like perfectionist. No, do it again. That's cack, do it again.
That's brilliant.
So it just built like a really good professionalism, and probably a little bit of a cockiness as well. Like we kind of had.
But you also held each other accountable.
We did, yeah.
But that's what makes you better at the end of the day,
I think so, man. I think.
Listen, to be honest, from an outsider and coming in as a, there was
hostility.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say hostility. It was just more. You guys were like a clique, not in a negative sense, but it was like, oh shit, they doing that show, like that's 4 bands, it's going to be packed out.
Yeah.
Every show you guys did was, there was always shows. Flyers. Every now and again when we would land up on one of those things, you guys would always do the flyers.
Yeah.
5,000 flyers. Come pick up the flyers. Go do flyer runs. Yeah. That stuff that's lost these days.
I know. Because I've kind of been out of the loop, man. I mean, that's why it's so cool this month. I can kind of like get back into the swing of things of like, okay, we're doing flyer runs now. Oh, right, I've got to go on my Instagram now and do this. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Adrian and Tim were saying, just bands they're just not doing this. I mean, you get the peasant guys and everything, and they still do it like a proper shift.
Man, I mean, they're running a tight ship there.
Yeah. So those guys are doing great. But I mean, like we were just getting back to like the Hammer the Masters CDs. You think about like there's 17 bands or something all on there, all recording stuff. I don't think that's happening now. I don't know. I might be wrong.
No, it's not. I mean, now if that's a Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
like
Exactly. Yeah.
Anybody can, just check out my Spotify playlist. Also, CDs, the novelty. It was quite funny. We were at the last Metal for Africa. It was wild.
Was it?
Hugely successful.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. And CDs were flying off the counter. So there is still that like novelty thing with
still get the collectors out there, especially with, metal's full of, and I don't say this in a bad way, like it's full of nerds, it's people that want to collect things. I'm one of those. I love to collect LPs and merch and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think it's going to die out too quickly.
Now vinyl is all getting super back in fashion. So there's lots of ways you can do it. I mean, also now with the introduction of like how easy the banking is.
That's
SnapScan,
so
Yoko, you got all those weird and wonderful.
Even PayPal, if it, anything like that, just makes it super easy to. I think it's just people have been complaining about how much venues have been taking for like merch and things like that. I don't know. I think that's like the only thing that's kind of hampering a lot of artists at the moment when it comes to making money.
What's your take on that? Like, because I think the band should be getting 100% of their merch.
Definitely. I mean, the venue has got no claim to that whatsoever.
Yeah. You're not printing the stuff. You're not making.
No.
All you're doing is supplying a table.
Supplying a little table, and even if so, you could even just say to the bands, just bring a table.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just supplying a little space, which is just like a little square or something. So no, I think it's just money grabbing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, they'll probably promulgate a law or something to that effect down the line, and try and regulate that a little bit more.
I know a lot of bands like Architects and stuff have been taking like not Ticketmaster to court, but they've been saying we're going to boycott Ticketmaster or boycott this venue for that the other, but. It seems like most venues are doing that. So,
I personally don't think it's right, because they're not putting any effort into getting the what makes you deserve that.
Yeah, no, it's not at all. Is it like that here with shows?
I don't know. Well, it's definitely not here with local shows. They're not taking. I don't think they're taking
Yeah. What
cuts.
are the venues I mean around Cape Town nowadays? I mean, there's Woodstock
Well, we've
Brewery is the
got-
one we played last year. There's Armchair. What's the new one in Stellies? That's like really nice.
Anclas is in Stellies.
So
You're thinking about Daisy Jones Bar.
That's the one. I've
Yeah,
heard
Daisy
about.
Jones is great. So we got Daisy Jones. It's a brilliant venue. Wow. I mean, you haven't been there.
I've never been there. I've heard a lot about it.
You should probably, if you go for a little wine tasting or anything like out that side,
Mean to, yeah.
just pop past Summerhill Wine Estate and just go check it out. Basically, what it is, it's if you get like tasting rooms and stuff like that on wine estates, it's basically that's been gutted into a venue.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Just also on the merch thing, definitely if you got people selling your merch for you, they need to be paid. Yeah,
100%.
Just not
No,
venues.
it's just the venue. I mean,
Yeah.
they've just got no claim to it.
Yeah.
And it never used to be like that.
No, for sure. And then there's Anclas. Then there's we got obviously Trenchtown. That's like a stalwart of the scene.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's kind of like it's almost like Raw and Gandalf didn't really go away.
They're just kind of like
yeah,
gone
it's
to
that whole
Trenchtown
thing. Is,
now.
yeah, now that's Trenchtown. Then you got Armchair, where you guys are playing this week.
Yeah.
District is another one. So Old Assembly.
Right. Yes. I've heard
Haven't
about
played
one.
that venue yet.
Okay, so there's still quite a few venues around.
Yeah, no, there's Ellington's in Belleville.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Good old Ellington's
Yeah,
still going.
I always enjoy a good scorp at Ellington's. I always lose myself a little bit there because I always
Always,
yeah,
it's
because I just say
Cheap
I
booze.
super cheap booze. I drive there and I get my insurance to pick me up at like 12 whatever, and then they drive me
Oh,
home in my
cool.
car.
So,
So
right.
I always
so you
go
got the-
have a
it's
proper
right by
party
the
out
N1
there.
as well, so it's like easy.
Yeah,
to get to.
oh geez, it's
Yeah.
right onto the N1. It's a quick trip home. Yeah, so I don't think we short of venues. I mean, the gigs have been picking up like a.
That's good, man. I was worried that the scene might be just like dying down or dying out.
No,
so just
quite the
evolving.
contrary.
Good.
I think it's certainly picking up. I mean, think about this, and we were talking about this the other day. How Medieval Africa, they competed with about 5 shows in the lead up. There was I played, put it this way, I played Daisy Jones the week before with your system.
Right. Yeah.
Week before that, we played with the Narrow. The week before that, we played another show.
Wow, that's like unheard of in the past. Like if you played one show, your other shows are probably going to take a hit.
Well, luckily, I was playing M4A with Atlantic South, and I played your
Right.
system
Okay.
shows. Yeah.
So it was different bands.
But yeah,
right.
different bands. But
Cool.
the fact that they've got to compete with all those bands and the place to be packed out, and hugely successful the way it is, was just blew my mind. In fact,
That's great to hear.
yeah. So, Metal for Africa is not going anywhere. As far as I know, they're going to do their 2-year, the biannual thing, as
So they're
opposed to
gonna go back
just,
to that.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a slow upward trajectory for sure,
Coming
and
back
also new
after
bands.
after lockdown and all that stuff. Then.
Mm. And there's also new bands coming out
Oh, cool.
that are popping up left, right, and center. A good band, for example, 2 of them, Terror Rays and Prodigal. Prodigal's a
I've heard of Terrace. Don't think I've heard of Prodigal though. What kind of vibe are they?
prog.
Oh, cool.
Prog metal,
Okay.
yeah, but very, very tasty. Yeah. Very, very good stuff. They played it at M4A, and we were all well impressed
Great.
with them. Yeah, we were supposed to play a show with them in a couple of weeks, but unfortunately it fell through. But so tell me, dude, you won the Wacken Metal Battle, came back and you played Ramfest. Tell me about that whole whirlwind of that, because I think it was the first ever Wacken Battle as well.
Yeah, it was the first. Well, it was the first one that South Africa was taking part in
Yes.
for some reason. I think Louis Dupasani, who was in charge of MK Ondergrond and all that, just said, "Okay, well, South Africa could take part of this now,"
Mhm.
and he did such a good job, putting that all together. And yeah, it was just an absolute whirlwind. I mean, we actually hadn't even signed up to play for it. Like somehow we like missed the application process for it and didn't sign up. And I like pleaded with Louis just to say like, look, if anyone bails,
Yeah.
you let me know. And he was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
cool. And a band did. I can't remember which band bailed, but then he was like, great, I got you on. And I think we were playing, what's the name of the place in Durbanville? Rabbit Hole?
Oh, the Rabbit Hole. Okay,
Rabbit
yeah,
Hole.
this is when they did different legs on
They
different
did-
nights. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And we did that leg. And we won it, and we were like, okay, great. This is probably the best that we're gonna get. Fantastic. We're going to the final in Pretoria. Brilliant. It wasn't Rumors Lounge. when was it for the first one? It was I will never remember the name of it, but it was like a big venue in Pretoria.
Arcade.
Arcade. That's the one. Yes, I would never remember that. Arcade. Yeah, and I don't know. We won it. I mean, we played well. I didn't think we played amazingly, but I think we just had that kind of like Wacken feel a little bit, like from a lot of the other bands. Had like a lot more of like a more modern kind of sound where we still had that kind of like real heavy metal kind of feel. And Wacken is very, heavy metal. It's the leather and the studs and it's quite classic, well, especially even in those days. Maybe now I think it's become a little bit more modern. The more modern metal kind of stuff. So I think we just kind of worked with the, what they were looking for, and then and then we just got to fly over there. Experienced this massive crowd, crazy show. Like we played really well, and we had quite a few things. Like I think Tim's bass, like 20 minutes beforehand, just completely and utterly fucked out, like with the pickups. And I had a problem, I think, with my guitar. And there was just like a few things that were just flying around. We still played really, really well. I think we came 7th as well.
Okay.
In the whole rankings, so that came pretty well. And then the Ramfest thing just came along because it just kind of snowballed after that. And then played the Ramfest show, and then I was like, okay, cool, we got to get a new album out now. We got to write. I kind of had a bit of material, but I gave myself like 6 months to write the second album. So whenever I wasn't working, I was freelance sound engineering at the time. So whenever I wasn't doing that, I was writing, and then got the album out. Recorded it like stupidly with Heinrich over like stupid hours, and worked like night. Got it all out. And then Serpents came out, and even that we did well after that as well. And then I just kind of got onto the Zombies train after that. Yeah,
actually, I was about to say, asking you about the whole Wacken experience. I forget that you've actually played it twice and won once.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot about that. It's like,
How could you forget, dude?
Yeah,
no, it's so long ago. I know.
No, I've just literally popped into my brain. I'm like, oh wait, shit. He's actually played it twice.
2016 with the Zombies guys. So that kind of just like went into that, and then Terror we were doing well, but it was just don't think South Africans, the scene was just really into Terror, or just really got Terror at that time. It was just, I think we were a little bit too, I don't want to say artsy, but like it wasn't like pummeling enough. It wasn't just and I think I don't know why, but it just didn't quite like.
That's interesting.
I thought people respected us, but I don't think. Maybe it's just me. I don't think we got the recognition, like longevity-wise, with everybody that maybe we either deserved or that I thought we deserved. Maybe I'm just being selfish, but I
don't. I think that's the opposite of selfish. I just think you're being introspective. But
I don't know.
For the I don't. That's interesting to hear that from you, because I wouldn't have guessed you would be thinking something like that.
I did. I definitely thought, no, okay, well, this is going a bit weird. Like, people just aren't quite getting it. They're getting it, but they're not. Not in the masses, anyway. And then Zombies just came out of nowhere, where they asked me, look, Louis is leaving. Do you want to play guitar as well? I loved the songs, knew all the guys. So that was just a no-brainer. And then Zombies started doing really well. So I kind of just, like, climbed on that, and then... Yeah, and then before you know it, like... Did
Terrier take a bit of a dip from you joining Zombies?
I would say so. Like, if I had to look back on it, I don't think consciously. I just think... I mean, it took us... 2015 was when Serpents was released, and then took until, last year for the next album to be released. So a lot of people ask why, what was the reason behind it, and I could say, just, didn't have the time. And I think a lot of it was, look, I was trying to sort my life out professionally as well, but also... musically, things were just going really well with Zombies, and it was just, even though I wasn't writing a lot, I was still writing a lot for Terry at the time, but it was just taking up a lot of my just musical creative feeling, so it kind of did. And we started getting really good and getting really good shows really quickly with Zombies, so it just felt like, okay, let me put some, quite a bit of energy into this. Yeah,
there was that period of time where like all those international acts were coming out, and
it just got really, really big.
Supported by Zombies, and
we started to hustle really hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good time. I mean, we played with Ginger, we played with August Burns Red, Protest the Hero.
Yeah.
We were getting all these cool shows, but like I just thought that was great because I thought at a zombie show like you would get a great show. Like I thought we always, if I was in the crowd, and I was in the crowd for zombies beforehand, which was always that cool thing because I knew what it felt like being in the band and being outside the band. So I just thought, especially when Mark and I joined, like everything just like gelled and we just became really good really quickly, just really got along well. So we totally had this cockiness kind of, and it kind of drove us to think that we're the best. We're gonna be the best. We have to be the best at everything.
Well, I'm sure winning Wacken actually had a lot to do with that as well.
Yeah, it was
that also came a bit later, even. So it's almost like validation for
exactly.
What
it was 2016, and then things started to really. After that, I thought we should have released an album as soon as we did that, but then just personal things with other people in the band didn't quite work out.
Yeah.
So it was. Yeah, and then we got to, and then we were still writing albums then. Like 2018, we brought out Shun the Reptile with Zombies. That did really well with that video. Remember?
Yeah.
I thought that was quite a pivotal.
That was the video where you guys did the whole Anchorman vibe.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah, very good.
The news thing and everything like that. So
what was that song called again?
The Worst Is Yet to Come.
Yes, yeah. Flip. I mean, listen, that aged well, eh?
Yeah. Totally
if you think about it, and the spitting out of Gavin's mouth,
and taken over by a virus.
I got goosebumps, bro.
Yeah.
To think about it, that was when 2018,
2018.
Yeah. So and then
well
2 years later, boom.
Yeah, it was
the worst came.
It was so weird, man.
That's crazy.
How it all kind of ended and just.
And it's so weird how you would always say, "Stay infected."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the whole zombie. Well, I mean, it took us over as well.
Yeah, and tell me, how's it having Ollie around?
Oh, he's so cool, man. He's just such a nice, positive person in the band.
Salt of the earth, eh?
Salt of the earth. You can talk to him about anything, helps you out with anything, and just such a good guitar player. I mean, we were just playing songs that we hadn't played in ages. He never played with us before. Like we played Tornado of Souls from Megadeth. I mean, as all four of us together, we hadn't played that song ever. And then the three of us being me, Tim, and Adrian, we hadn't played that song in years. And he just absolutely nailed the solo, which is just one of the craziest solos to even nail.
That's insane, dude.
And he's so humble as well.
Yeah.
He's beforehand, he's I don't know if I could do it. Shut up. You can.
And he's also well, I don't know if I played that as tight. And you're like, what? Are you crazy, bro?
Yeah, but again, it keeps the humility keeps him driven. You know, he always wants to improve and everything like that. It's the same with the rest of the guys. I mean, it's the same with Tim. Same with Adrian. I mean, Adrian's the most self-deprecating person I've ever met in my life. He just thinks he's terrible. And I'm like, dude, you are insane. That's your job.
We had such a fun pod with him.
Yeah,
it was one of the last ones I did. Yeah, it was about a year ago, 2 years ago, even.
It must be longer. Yeah, 2 years.
It's crazy. Yeah, we had a really fun. That was as we were coming out of the whole lockdown thing.
Was that when it was?
Yeah, and then I just I was like, the whole social distancing thing actually stuck around for quite a while.
It did, especially here in South Africa. You guys had it a lot longer than
we had it until mid 21. That's now that it's all
that's way better.
A thing of the past.
Zoom podcasts can be a challenge, especially if it's not the most riveting. Well, I mean, even with riveting chats, it's just it's fun to watch.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. But we back, baby, we back.
Good to be back.
What I wanted to ask, so Ollie's only played the one show with you guys last year. You've come back now. You're going to play this year. Is it? So it's only the one show.
It's the one show. We're kind of doing a bit of a party show for just close mates and things like that as well.
Nice.
It's really a secret show. It's not secret anymore. Anyway, we can't say where it is. But just the one. And then see if life can kind of ease up a little bit, and then I want to start writing, man. I want to start getting some tunes going, and just see what we can do. Even if it isn't, I mean, I'd love to keep on going with the Infanteria stuff, but You know, like Gav, he lives over in the UK now as well. Gav.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's living in London, and we see each other quite often.
Okay.
And we've just been saying like, let's write together. Let's do something.
Oh, so you're thinking of possibly starting a new little
yeah, just like a little
situation.
project. You know, I just want to keep the
Creative
I've got-
juices flowing,
gotta
for
keep-
sure.
Yeah, I feel like I'm wasting it if not. Like it's something that was just like a huge part of my life, and now just to put it on the shelf just
No,
sounds
sure.
weird.
But
yeah.
you also had that Sidewalk Stories
Yes,
that you did for quite a while just before you left. It was your
Yeah.
acoustic duo with your mate.
with Cameron. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So
It's amazing how I can remember these things.
well done, dude. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that was just like a very much like a side project. A lot of
But
fun with my mates.
There's so much opportunity to do stuff like that overseas. So, you know, pub
I
shows.
don't even know if I'm into that anymore though.
Is it?
Like, yeah, I don't know. I've like even in my 30s, man, I've become an absolute like not a recluse. That's the wrong word, but I just don't like people as much.
Yeah.
And for those kind of shows, you get a lot of people
coming up to you and doing
coming
the
up
whole
to you and asking for requests and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just,
Oh, the requests are the worst.
oh, and then they get drunk and
Yeah.
then it's like, play this. Oh, you don't know how to play this. What the hell are you? And I can't deal with that. I don't have the
Okay.
patience for someone like that.
Okay, it definitely has drawbacks for sure.
But yeah, I mean, we always do lots of acoustic stuff with Infanteria as well. So
Yeah.
there'll always be something cool to do with that.
So
Yeah.
the intro of Swansong and the middle eight.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah. They
That
call it a
was-
middle eight over in the UK.
Yeah, that middle bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, no, very, very cool stuff. That song specifically really grabbed me for sure. It's definitely going to my liked songs playlist.
Excellent, man. Yeah, I
Um,
love that one.
and then you've now with Terrier specifically, you want to write. Obviously, you got Gav. Have you started writing any sort of ideas at all for Terrier? And if you are going to, and if you haven't, whatever, how's it going to be recording remotely with the guys?
Yeah, it's going to be really weird. I haven't got anything written yet. I haven't even got ideas. It's kind of like knowing where to go next.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing with Patriarch. Like I said, we wrote it together in the same room. We just won't be able to do that as much unless like we book off time and go and write together. So I think, look, we'll have to see how it goes. But like, it might have to revert back to kind of how it was before. But like trying to make it like maybe get Adrian to maybe record some drums as well, so I can get a feel from some things. So it's going to be different, and I'm not quite sure how it's going to go down.
Well,
I just want it to go down.
challenge accepted.
I just want it to go down. Yeah, I've got to keep on writing with the
No,
guys.
definitely. And so moving overseas, how was the adjustment? Obviously, coming from playing two extremely active bands to going over, you obviously want to sort out your career wise and all that kind of stuff. How was the adjustment? What do you miss the most about being here? Besides the fact that literally the entire music scene misses you.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I miss everything, man. I really do. It was like I literally felt like I had changed my story, if you know what I mean. Like like a chapter just completely been put to one side, and I was like in a game, and now I've created this new character, and I'm just in this new character. It was really like a weird thing, and especially with lockdown happening as well, which was just completely weird as well.
Yeah.
It felt like I was living in a parallel universe or something. So it's been like for the first 2 years or so, it was just like head down, working, doing what I needed to do. So I didn't really miss it too much until things started to like calm down with lockdowns, and we could say, okay, let's get Patriarch out now. Let's get this all finished up and everything like that. So yeah, it was really weird. And even when I come back every time now, like the last time, it was just like a complete and utter like, what is happening? Like how like everything's the same, but everything's changed for me.
Yeah.
It was like, it's like if you speak to anyone who's moved country, I'm sure they say the same thing. It's just how your life completely changes, and then you come back and they have they can't relate to you on how things have been and everything like that. So yeah, just like on a personal terms, it's just been that was difficult. That was really hard for people to relate to what you've been through, and then especially with the band, they're like, oh, what's happening with the band now? And something. I'm like, the band is so far back in my priorities right now because I'm just trying to work on living a life in another country. But things are starting to calm down now. So I'm trying to kind of find a new way of doing it. where I don't have my guys around. I can't just go around to Adrian's house. I've got these responsibilities as well. Let's try and make this time for writing. So it's going to be, I don't think we'll have an album out within the next 2 years, if I'm being completely realistic. But who knows? I just know it needs to happen, man.
Yeah, and that must have also been quite a weird adjustment, you going overseas and then all of a sudden 10 days before lockdown, then all of a sudden you're trying to get your life in order, and then you sat
in my cousin's place. Luckily, I had family there who were...
Did you qualify for, what do they call it? Because obviously you moved over there, but you hadn't got...
like furlough or something
escrow
like that.
Or furlough, that's it.
Not at all. I didn't have a job at all. I had all these interviews all lined up. That, okay, cool, I'm going to this, that. All got cancelled. So I had nothing. I basically had nothing except for like my savings, and I was doing a little bit of online teaching.
That's why it must have been a stressful time.
Really stressful, and like living with family and trying not to like, you're living in their home, even though your family, exactly. So yeah, and then I was so lucky. Like my first work interview that I did, I got the job, and that's the job that I'm still with now. I'm loving it, and it's absolutely brilliant. So I just got lucky. It could have been that I didn't get that, and then, interviews were few and far between at that time. So, yeah, it was such a change, man. Like, you just change as a person. I feel like a completely different person now, coming back and doing everything. But it's cool when you come and play the songs again, and you get in the room with the guys, and it's exactly the same.
Yeah, and you remember where you at.
Yeah, it's all like, okay, no, I'm Chris, the guitar player now, or the singer now. I'm back to him.
So it's like you've done a lot of essentially a lot of soul searching the last couple of years. Because I also remember before you left, you did this huge transformation. You were a bit bigger, then you changed your diet. You went on this massive lifestyle change. Got into good shape. You were exercising, all that kind of stuff. How's that all going?
Great, man. Yeah, like I said, I've just even being back in SA now, I've just been going to gym every day and just trying to. It was a big thing for me. I wasn't happy back in about 2015 when we were recording Serpents. Around that time. Like I said, we were working all the time. We were recording all the time. I was like 103 kilos at that point, which for me was like big, and I just wasn't happy and just needed a change. Yeah, so I just went. I went the full. Especially at that point, it was quite like trendy to go the full vegan route and everything like that. I mean, I still am. I don't eat meat or anything like that, so that's been great.
Yeah, but I mean, I respect that. It's everybody's choice, man. And also, if your body reacts to it like that, more power to you. I mean, I hold no judgment.
Everybody's different with the way that their body works and
stuff. Odd wisecrack and
of course.
You're gonna have a salad today.
Yeah, there's always the banter's always going to be there.
For sure.
I'm so used to it now.
Yeah, and how long have you been vegan for?
Well. Definitely, it's like vegetarian, not eating any meat. Middle of 2015 is when I think it was like July 2015 is the last time I ate any meat. So it's been a long time.
That's another thing. What I hear a lot is someone will go full vegan, and then as the years pass, they'll slowly introduce like fish and stuff, like
you like
pescatarian vibe.
Yeah, you'll see what works for you, kind of thing. Like now on this trip, like when I'm at home, especially when I'm cooking at home. Because I love to cook, it's like one of my big things. But I go full plant-based. I try and stick away from all dairy and all sorts of things. Just I find that more fun as well. Not even a challenge now because I know what I'm doing. But it's just more fun for me.
You get your combinations that work, and you trial and error gets you to where you want to be.
Where you want to be, and I've been doing it for a long time now. So and I just shed weight, man. I mean, I think within like 6 to 8 months, which isn't long. Like I lost about 30 kilos. At one point, I was too thin. I think if you
I remember there was one point you were looking a bit scroll.
I was looking well scroll. Yeah, I was running so much at that point, and I wasn't really doing any like weight training or anything like that. Yeah. So especially when I moved to England and then started drinking pints like more often, you put on weight anyway.
Sure. Well, I know all about that.
So I had to watch that.
I literally sweat half of it out in the first 5 minutes of this podcast.
I know.
I was sweating. Like I even had I was hoping you wouldn't notice. I had a little droplet coming off my ear.
I didn't see it at all, dude. You're looking fine. You just got that glow.
Yeah, I got that little glass. I got to get the makeup artist in here. Yeah, that's hilarious. But it's something. Sorry, I don't mean to like harp on this, but it's something I find absolutely fascinating because I'm also trying to, you get bored of, fries and all
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Now, give me an example. What is your favorite meal to make? Because you say you love cooking, and if it's plant-based, I'm super intrigued to hear what, say, your average, say for instance, the meal you enjoy making the most. So it's like your spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah.
Your specialty.
So like I make a lot of curries, man. Like with tofu, I'm like on a mad tofu like bender at the moment. Like everything's got to have tofu in it at the moment. So
Nice.
Especially in the UK, it's really easy to find. I find it really hard over here, to be honest, to find any sort of tofu.
So you can't get good tofu here.
Oh, it's just hard to come by. Like I've heard in some like some of the China shops and things like that, you can get. I couldn't really find any, but I'm sure it's there. But yeah, so I've just been eating like a lot of like tofu curries where I like put some sort of like breadcrumbs and flour and all kinds of nice spices and stuff over it. Put it in an air fryer and and it goes like basically like crispy chicken.
Oh, okay. Oh,
in a way.
See now, that's so funny because like I love a good pad thai.
Okay, yeah.
And every now and again I'll get it with the tofu, but the tofu they make it so squidgy.
Yeah.
Like I like
that
yeah.
crumb.
So you make it more like a dry.
Yeah.
And then the sauce like makes it chewy like chicken.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
So yeah, nice and small. So loads of curries, like pastas, like with loads of veggies, and try and pack loads of veggie pastas in there. Like salads, so like loads of warm salads. I try and keep it as. I mean, I still eat a lot of shit, man. I still eat pizzas and burgers and crap like that.
Just the margarita style, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You get those quattros where they put like artichokes and.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
That kind of
all peppers. They're really good over in the UK for veggie stuff. So
nice.
I'm quite lucky. So yeah, just a lot of. I mean, there's loads of this meat substitute stuff as well, which some people are not really into, like the fries and things like that you can get. And they're really good. Just some people just don't get it. They're always like, "Well, why do you eat that? Why would you eat that and not real meat?" And I'm always like, "Well, because it's not meat." It's not me. I still like burgers. I just don't want it to come from an animal.
No, for sure. And because also, I mean, you always. I had a soy burger the other day, or a burger with artificial meat, or I don't know. I think it is soybeans. Huh?
So sometimes it's pea protein.
It was delicious.
And things.
It was
great.
delicious. So what are you missing? You're not missing much.
Some of it's like the Beyond Burgers. They're amazing. I think
that was it. That was
the
it.
Beyond Burger.
Yes,
They're better than normal burgers in my opinion. Like a lot of people will say, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't taste like a beef burger. It's better than a beef burger. Like I think. Except
Okay.
people overdo it over here though. I've seen like a lot of the restaurants, if you get a Beyond Burger, they like cook it like a beef burger or they overdo it. I don't know. They think it needs to be like charred. So that's the
Okay.
sometimes people don't like them just because they haven't been prepared properly either,
Okay.
so that's a bit of a problem. But just eat your greens, man.
Yeah, that's
Eat
eat your greens, kids.
Eat your greens.
Yeah, I mean that's is
That's
good.
the hard
It's
part.
sim-
A lot of
simply
people don't
good
like
advice.
the greens. That's the problem.
yeah. I'm a sucker for greens. I
I
enjoy
love
the
them, man.
gre-
I've never had a problem. Like I'm
Yeah.
quite lucky. I'm not really fussy when it comes to food, so it was like
I mean, I'm the type of guy. I'll sit with raw broccoli, raw cauliflower, and sit with a tzatziki,
oh yeah,
and I'll just dip it and crunch away.
definitely, man.
So tell me, what is your best? Okay, obviously you've lived here a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Now you're in the UK. You've lived there for 3 years. What's your favorite thing about living there?
In the UK, favorite thing, everything works. Like that's a good thing. Like over in South, obviously with load shedding and everything like
absolutely.
that. So everything works, but that's a boring answer. The shows, man. Like as soon as I'm getting back, 8 days later, I'm seeing Silosis and Malevolence.
Oh wow!
Live.
Okay.
I've seen
Malevolence are really good. They're
really big at the
they
moment.
got
over
onto
there.
my radar a good few years ago, and then all of a sudden they popped up on the Craig Reynolds podcast, the Downbeat,
the Downbeat podcast. Yeah,
and
that's a
I
great
watched
podcast.
their show there, and super nice fellas.
Yeah,
Lots of crack.
proper Yorkshireman.
Yes, yeah, and some power music.
Yeah, I've saw them live. They open up for Trivium. I think I saw them in February. That was the one. That's probably the best show I've seen in England. Was Trivium live in February with Malevolence opening.
Awesome.
And they just killed it. And they're so big in England at the moment. Like all the metalheads are all about Malevolence.
Okay.
They like the
Well,
big bands.
I guess I'm gonna have to do my due diligence because I'm terrible.
I'm kind of the same. I don't really know Malevolence. don't really know. Obviously, I'm just like a massive Silosis fanboy. So
Silosis is Josh Middleton, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and he did a good long stint with Architects, and he's recently parted ways with them to concentrate on Silosis.
Which I was quite chuffed about. Because, I mean, I got into Silosis back in I saw them at Sonosphere 2011. They were just opening up the main stage, and I was like, this band is incredible. Like, Josh was like super young then at that time, and I just bought everything. And then he got really big when he joined Architects, and then I was always like, well, I was a massive Architects fan and a massive Silosis fan, and then I was like, oh, this is gonna work. And I think the first album with Josh was Holy Hell. I don't know how much of a... Are you
No. I know.
fan?
Listen, I was massive Architects fan. Lost Forever, Lost Together.
Oh, massive.
Then All the Gods Have Abandoned Us literally blew my brain.
Same, dude.
Blew my mind. I mean,
I remember.
It was being played at every show we were going to.
Yeah. Every metalhead friend that you had was playing Gone with the Wind.
But then also the whole story behind Tom Searle.
Yeah.
And the lyrics that he had written. It's an iconic album.
I agree.
Iconic.
That
will be etched into history and will never be forgotten.
Agreed.
In my opinion, it was just an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah.
And
monumental. It was.
Brilliant final writings of old Tom Searle, which is hugely sad because, I mean, obviously his twin brother Dan plays drums.
Yeah.
So that was a very hectic story. And then when Josh obviously joined is when I started dipping out.
Okay.
So,
fair.
You know, Doomsday was was still Tom's writings.
I think so. It definitely sounds
and then all of a sudden they came out with Animals. That was the first single that they came out.
That came off the album For Those Who Wish to Exist. So that was like the lockdown album.
Yeah, that was the album after All the Gods Have Abandoned Us.
No, so they had Holy Hell, which came out in 2018. And that was actually pretty cool. It was different from, but it was still heavy, and it was still like...
But apparently
like
on that album, there were still some of Tom's songs.
There was a few ideas, I think.
Yeah.
But I can still hear quite a bit of just from knowing how Josh writes and knowing the sound of his... Like, I can tell, that song, that's definitely a Josh song. That's a Josh song. And it actually worked out well. But now they've gone on a Bring Me the Horizon trip. They just want to
now they're just
be as mainstream and as 13-year-old girl as possible.
But I think that's like everybody calls it a sellout.
It is a bit.
Which it is. But at the end of the day, like, who did it was Winston from Parkway Drive maybe saying, I mean, do you guys want us just to make Deep Blue again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My argument is always, though, no, I don't want them to do Deep Blue again. But, guys, this? Like, it's like, you know what I mean? I'm always like, I'm a fan of the music as well. Like, and I listen to what they did before. And how can they go and say, well, you know, some albums are just not good. And that's definitely like some of the new Architect stuff and some of the new Bring Me stuff. Just hasn't been good.
I really enjoyed That's the Spirit from Bring Me.
Is that the one with like it's
one with Happy Song
Umbrella on the front cover?
Yes.
It does have some good songs. I quite like Ammo even. That came out like 2019. That Bring Me the Horizon song, the one with
what's his face? The British singer.
Cradle of Filth.
Oh no, you think of Danny Filth.
Yeah, Danny Filth. He did one of the songs on that album as well.
Yeah, and who was that other chap as well? He's also huge overseas, but a mainstream guy.
Oh.
What was his name? He's got a big bloody mouth, man.
Big mouth.
What's his name again? Oh, it's gonna kill me.
Steven Tyler.
No, he looks a bit like Steven Tyler. I won't lie. It'll come to me.
Oh, right.
I forget what his name is. Oh man, he dated Halsey and all that shit. But I mean, that's who's.
Was he like older guy? Was he like
no younger? He did like pop punk covers and stuff with Machine Gun Kelly. He did that one song with Machine Gun Kelly.
Harry Styles or something.
No. It's
Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, no, it's not. But Ed Sheeran.
I'm just naming off.
Anyway, now I've just completely lost my train of thought because I'm trying to think of that dude's name. But anyway,
we were talking about Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah,
and yeah.
So let's go here. Give me your top I know this is always a very difficult answer, question for everybody to answer. Give me your top 3. You can include 5 if you want of the things that you listen to the most.
Bands or albums or
Bands. Could be an album of a band. Could be a discography. Could be anything.
So let's go top 5 bands maybe, and I can even just say albums in there. Now that's changed over the years like a lot, because I'll always say it was always before. I know Metallica, Megadeth, they were like my favorite bands, and they always were, and they always will be like the bands that got you into, the gods basically.
Well, you just listen to you sing. You've got you can hear that you're influenced by those guys.
Big time. Yeah, they were just like the initial, like, oh, that's how it's supposed to sound, I don't listen to much of them anymore, though. That's the thing. Like, you kind of get over it. Not even over it. It's just like I've heard that song so many times.
You've killed it. Well, I mean,
I'm into this kind of thing
but
now.
It'll come on the radio and you'll be like, oh
yeah. Or you'd be, drinking beers with your mates and someone goes and puts, Machine Head's Davidian on or something, and you're just like, wah! So I would say, definitely, I mean, the latest Silosis album is incredible. I would say that's been on my playlist hard for like the last 2 months. So anything from them, I just think they're absolute modern metal like geniuses. Like the riffs that they write, the song structures, the way they're able to grab your emotions at the same time as just being super heavy is something I think is quite unique. So yeah, them. I'd have to go for a Metallica one as well. Probably. I mean, the first album I ever bought with my own money was Metallica's. No, Master of Puppets. Actually.
Okay.
Back in like 2002, I would have been. So I would have been 14? Not even 13, 14 at that point.
Oh shit! I'm actually quite a little bit older than you.
Yeah, I'm 30. I'm 34, 35.
Okay.
And so yeah, I got in quite early with meeting everyone. So yeah, I would go with Master of Puppets. I think that's probably the Bible.
The Bible, okay. Ooh.
I listen to it now, man, and I just all think it's just insanely good. Like just the riffs, the intensity, how ahead of its time it is.
Super, yeah, it was definitely ahead of its time.
It's so tight. Like if you hear it, it's so tight.
Those downstrokes.
Just downstrokes, just the gallops in between. Yeah, Hetfield's
You got some pretty
level.
heavy riffs there where that's up there, definitely up there with the downstrokes.
Big time.
You also, because you can hear that's been downstrokes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I remember watching Metallica's. I think it was actually on this album, The Justice. My brother and I used to watch the Live Ship Binge and Purge DVDs that used to be like 700 rand and look and listen if you could get one, because it was so rare. But it was like, we used to watch, there's one show where they play 1989 on the Justice Tour in Seattle, when they are just in their absolute prime, just going for it. And you're just watching James just effortlessly. Yo. And it's even faster than the album. And he's just going for it. And that was like okay, we have to be like that. I can't be anything less than that.
I know, it's insane. Yeah, I mean, his level of playing has always been absolutely amazing to me.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. I mean, you get Tony Iommi, who I would say Black Sabbath right now is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Okay.
And I would never have said that 5 years ago, but I listen to them so much now. Maybe when I got a bit older, I just kind of appreciated and just listened to more of their older albums. And I would say Tony Iommi is definitely like a bit of a god. But I think Hetfield, for all the modern guys, you can't go much further than Hetfield. Like he did everything. Like nobody played like him before that. Maybe Dave Mustaine as well, because they kind of did it together. Yeah, I just think even like if you listen to a lot of the stuff from the 2000s, a lot of like the metalcore stuff and everything like that, even just songwriting, like it was really big but if you listen to it composition wise, to the stuff that was happening, like Metallica were writing and everything, it still isn't as good. Like it's stood the test of time. So I'd go Master Puppets on that one. So what we got? We got Silosis.
So we got Silosis, Metallica.
I'd have to say like a band that I've always thought just absolutely quintessentially gets what I like in metal is Testament. I don't know if you how much Testament you got into. We actually got to meet them. It was crazy, dude. Wacken 2016, when we had just won with Zombies. they said, all right, you go, and we did like a signing thing at Wacken, at the signing spot, wherever you like, the table or whatever you would call it. People you could do, and we were like, what? Who would want our signature? So we just kind of went. We had a few people, but we're like, oh, there's a band right next to us. Who's this? And you couldn't really see. And the guy's like, oh no, it's Testament. And I was like, what? What? Can we meet them? Like, is there a chance? Oh, we'll see. And we got to meet them afterwards. And I think online there's a photo of us all there and everything. But they were so big. Like they were like Metallica, but just way more like melodic in a way.
What's that guitarist's name? Steve. What was his name?
From
Testament.
They've got Alex Skolnick.
That's Skolnick. That's it. Alex.
Yeah, he was such a nice guy to meet as well. But yeah, I would say Testament. I mean, all their stuff's pretty good. But yeah, man. I mean,
you're not allergic or anything.
No, I love cats. So I was on my Testament run over here. Yeah. How you doing? What's the cat's name?
Rogue.
Yeah,
she interferes very, very often.
Hello, Rogue.
She's a sucker for attention.
Fantastic. No, I love cats.
So that's the three, yeah? So Sylosis, Metallica, and Testament.
I mean, there's loads of other bands. Absolutely loads. And there's loads of modern stuff that I've really got into as well. Like, there's just so many. And
anything that you're listening to now that you would want to say, I'm looking to listen to new music. I need to give Sylosis a chance.
You do, yeah.
I haven't listened to a lot of Testament either.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm a late bloomer. Like, I mean, I loved Metallica back in the day, but I never really progressed further than that. I was like the new metal kid.
Yeah. Sure. There was always the one or the other.
Yeah.
Like, I never really got into Slipknot and Linkin Park and Deftones.
Yeah, I never got into Slipknot either.
Yeah. It just wasn't my route. Other stuff that I'm listening to that. I have a think. There's loads of stuff. Well, Power Trip. Don't know if you.
Shame. Didn't the vocalist pass away?
He did. Which is such the biggest shame ever. I've been on such a bender with Power Trip. They're just like, again, like, if you want to know if an alien came down from space and said, "Show me thrash metal," but like the best possible way it
Power
should be
Trip
written.
was one of them.
Yeah, can't go.
Awesome.
Like, their first album is just insane.
I remember, like, it was like the year before he passed, they were just absolutely slaying.
They were everywhere.
Yeah, they were
Download, Bloodstock, playing all these shows
huge.
Everywhere. No, it's such a shame, man.
Yeah,
I was really bummed.
And so, dude, right now in the UK, there's so many crazy shows going on.
Yeah,
there's
too many.
Thou Art Is Murder, which is this past weekend. Well, I mean, that's all over the place. My friend Mike, we're gonna do a pod this week where he's gonna tell me all about it, because they just went through their controversy and got a new vocalist and stuff like that. But there were a bunch of people, good supporting acts. I can't remember who it was. But then there's also Make Them Suffer, Stray From The Path. Have you ever heard Stray From The Path?
Absolutely, man.
I'm on a
Craig Reynolds band.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm on a huge binge with them.
They're great,
I discovered Stray From The Path from the Downbeat.
It's kind of the same, in a way, from the Downbeat podcast. And yeah, man, I mean, it's so abrasive, but interesting.
So cool. It's like a reincarnation of Rage Against the Machine.
Definitely got
like
that vibe to it.
More hardcore style to it.
Dillinger Escape Plan kind of like craziness going through. I love anything. Craig Reynolds, I knew about him from to get back onto the Josh Middleton train again, but he did a solo album back in like 2015, 2016, and Craig Reynolds did drums on that one because they're mates.
Yeah,
they're from Reading together, so they're like mates. And he did all the drums on it, and it is insane. Like, I think he only released it on his own joshmiddleton.com or something. You can't even find it on Spotify or anything like that.
I wonder why he did that.
I know, it's weird. I don't know. I think he wanted to be quite artsy and just be like, okay, no, it's just for these people.
Okay.
But the drumming on it from Craig was just like insanely good. And then listened to his podcast, and then I was like, oh, he kept going on about, Stray From The Path.
Yeah, I just love how snarky he is.
Yeah, I know. And witty.
Yeah, very, very clever.
So quick.
Great sense of humor. And it's just a shit hot drummer. He's super good. He whacks those things.
He hits hard.
I often.
He's massive.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
And he, because I obviously follow him on Instagram, and he'll upload like a screenshot of his Spotify and he'd be like leg day.
Yeah,
And I'm
exactly.
like, fuck, I need to get to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get my ass into gear. You putting me to shame. You come on holiday and get a gym contract.
Okay, you got to do it, man.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. So, well, thanks for the inspiration. And, dude, this has been such a great conversation. It's been so nice having you around.
Loved it, bro.
Thanks for making the trip.
Absolute pleasure. My first podcast done.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so glad it was this show.
I'll come next time as well.
No, definitely. It's definitely going to be a tradition if you're going to be playing once a year with the boys. Please make sure to come pop around for a chat.
Absolutely, dude. We'll do it.
But this weekend, Armchair Theatre, Halvar, and the great Infanteria are playing at the Armchair. I've just mentioned
Armchair
Observatory. Check it out. I've got my ticket. Head to Quicket and get yours.
Yeah.
Hell of a reasonable price for the show.
Think so.
Get your asses down there. I'll see you all there. Uber. Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive.
And,
come early.
Come early. Stay late.
Buy merch.
You guys gonna have merch on sale?
Gonna have merch for sale. So
Sweet.
come on through. Bring some extra cash.
Cash.
Come and say hi.
Are there any? You're gonna be able to do any? Is it?
Yeah.
purely-
No. I think Adrian organized a Yoko.
Sweet. Well then, I
Yoko.
will have a freshly.
We got
ironed-
caps as well, dude. We got
Really?
new Infanteria caps, patches, shirts. So
Well, I will be walking away with a shirt and a cap.
excellent.
That's for damn sure. I'm so looking forward. Really looking forward to
Same,
seeing Adrian, Ollie, Tim, everybody for just what is I'm assuming is going to be a fucking awesome evening.
Oh, I'm getting excited now.
Yeah, it's going to be sweet. So guys, get your tickets. We'll see you on Friday. Thank you, Chris Hall, for joining me.
Thank you, Pop.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay here in South Africa.
Plan to. Absolutely.
Get all the gym in you need.
Yeah, all the gym and all the sun I need.
And say how's to the boys, and we will see you on Friday.
Like it, bro.
Sweet
Thank
brother.
you.
Till next time, we say peace. Cheers.
I don't wanna go anywhere else. I wanna go to Papa Jesus.
Yeah, that's where we're going.